For this assignment, you're going to download Chapter 6, the start file. And once you have Photoshop here, you're going to click Open, and then go to your Downloads folder and click on the file you just downloaded. It should be labeled 06start.psd. Then click Open, and you're going to see this. You're going to have two layers, a magazine background and a model layer. In this assignment, you're going to learn about masks and channels. So masks are basically a way to manipulate an image and have control over a specific part, and without it being destructive to the original layer. So a mask would be considered a non-destructive edit because you can always get rid of it. So first thing we're going to do is at the top, you're going to click select, and then select and mask. We're going to click on that. And then you guys are going to see this. It's going to be, by default, it's going to look like this for you. And what we want to do is select our subject. Right now, there's nothing selected, so we're going to select subject up here. And you'll notice that now it's kind of a bit darker. And then the next thing we're going to do is on the view mode on the right, where your properties are. Notice you have a whole properties section, but you also have tools on the left and options for those tools as well. On our properties, in the view box right here, you're going to click the down arrow and switch it to overlay so that it turns red. The reason we want to do this is it helps us see better as far as what is included in the mask that we've just created. In this case, we selected the subject, so the mask is focused on the subject. But if we zoom in, so we're going to click on the zoom button right here, zoom in and look around, you'll notice like right here, some of the t-shirt got clipped off. It's not part of the mask. So we want to add that and fix it. So to do that, we're going to switch to our quick selection tool. And our size, we're going to set it to 15. You can either move it around or you can type in 15. Make sure it's on the plus. And then we're going to zoom in a little more because we want to include that part of the shirt. You don't have to be precise. The program's pretty smart enough to where it knows where the edges are, but if this happens, you can just switch to minus and add that portion back. So here my brush size might be too big, so I'm going to decrease it a bit. Alright, that's kind of better. And then we're going to zoom back out. Whoops. Or fit to screen. So now we added that little portion of her shirt. And then now we can switch your view mode to on layers, and what that does is it'll show you how your mask looks within all the other layers. So if we click on that, you can see that our mask is now pretty good. Um, in older versions of Photoshop, so I'm gonna go back to my overlay. Some older versions of Photoshop, it wouldn't really mask that well, so sometimes this part of the hair wouldn't be um, masked correctly. So if you see any hair section, so like you can barely see right there, there's like you can see part of the where she was in the room, it's like white. So there is a tool where you can refine those selections. So it's called Refine Edges brush tool. So it's this, and this is made for things like hair. So we're going to click on that. And then the size of the brush, we're going to set to, the book tells us to set it to 20 pixels. So size, 20 pixels. The hardness is going to stay at 100. And then We want to stay in the overlay view so that we can see the big contrast. And we want to just look at the hair to see if there's anything missing. So that's fine here. I know when I've done this project or assignment in the past, a lot of the times this portion would get clipped off and this portion. So see this right here? This little crevice, I'm able to select that because I have the refined edge brush tool. If I were to have the quick selection, it wouldn't read that little area as well. This part is fine. I think everything else is good. It was just that portion. There might be a little bit there. Let me zoom back out, fit to screen, and then let's go see how that looks now on layers. Yeah, if you look at this piece of the hair, it looks like it's a lot better. Same as here. Now you see this orange peeking through, and before it used to be white. So that, again, that's with this tool, your refined edge brush tool, which is very, very useful when it comes to hair. The other thing you can do if you want to make sure that you got everything is if you go to your view mode, there is a black and white, and you can see it a lot better. So I can see all the hair strands. See that little portion right here? That hair strand, yeah. So in this next portion, we're gonna zoom in to her face right here because I want you to see there is a slight outline, if you can see right there. You can kind of see that there's like this little tiny, tiny portion that still needs to be refined. So we're going to scroll down on the right. I'm going to use our scrolling thing. Underneath global refinements, there's something called output settings. We're going to click on this arrow to expand. And we're going to check mark this decontaminate colors. So click on that and you'll see the big difference it made. So now that little outline is gone. So if I take it off, you can kind of see it better. And then up here under global refinements, the smooth slider right here, we're going to move it to 5, like that. And then the contrast is going to be set to 20%. And the shift edge is actually going to be minus 15%. Once you have that done, we're going to click OK. And we want to make sure we save our work, so we don't want to lose any of the progress. So File, Save As, make sure you save it with your initials. And we're going to label this masks. Just keep it simple and put it in your correct folder. So in my case, it's the digital media folder. Make sure the format is Photoshop and click Save. And then click OK.